Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking fluorocarbon. So me and Kim have been really busy the last couple of weeks, going through all the stock and sorting everything out, split things into categories and keep the categories in separate boxes. And we managed to get it all done, believe it or not. So we've got around 50 boxes all labeled up. So what does that mean? Does that mean 50 tackle videos to come up on the channel soon? Maybe it does. We haven't even started with the rods yet, so I think there'll be definitely 50 videos on tackle showcases and reviews to come up on the channel. If you're on the channel for the first time and watching this, then I guess it's not going to make much sense to you. Today I'm going to cover one category of tackle, which is fluorocarbon lines. If you want to make sense of it all, then I suggest you click this playlist and you watch the playlist from the beginning, and it'll all make sense to you. Now, I personally only use fluorocarbon for all my rigs. For all my fishing, including my leaders for spinning, short leaders for spinning, and longer leaders for trolling from the boat. Now, why do I personally use only fluorocarbon? Because it's the best material to use for the end tackle of your fishing. Now, I talk to a lot of people, and the first impression I get from people that I talk to, and this is over many years, again, for people who don't know me, I owned a tackle shop for 15 years over in the Canaries, so I've had a lot of dealing with customers over the years, with anglers, with fishermen. Now, the first thing that people tend to say to me is, well, fluorocarbon, it's invisible line. I don't really need invisible line because the waters that I fish haven't got the water clarity. And it's really not the case. It's not the first advantage of fluorocarbon at all. The first advantage of fluorocarbon is the fact that it has virtually no memory. So we all know that the most important thing in fishing is bait presentation. Now, what's fluorocarbon got to do with good bait presentation? A lot. We all know that we store our rigs in rig wallets or pouches. We all know that those rigs sometimes end up staying in there for a long time. And we all know that when we first take our rigs out of the pouches, they are coiled because they've been stored in there in a coiled fashion. Now, if those rigs were not made out of fluorocarbon, it'd be very difficult to get that rig to stay straight again. And if your rig is not straight, your bait presentation is not good. So for me, that is the first advantage of fluorocarbon. I'm actually going to demonstrate this. This is one of my rig wallets, and let's take out, for example, this pulley rig, and you will see exactly what I mean. Now this pulley rig is made out of fluorocarbon. I hope you can see that there. I think you can. And you can see how, because it's been stored in the wallet, obviously to put the rig away, the last time I used it, and it was a very long time ago because we're in a lockdown, and when I take it out, you can see that it's actually the shape of the coils that I wrapped it into to put in the wallet. Now, because I have used fluorocarbon here, before I start my fishing, I can actually make this rig go into the perfectly straight state again. So if I pull on this, you will see straight away I have done the pulley rig body section. There's the pulley bead, and when I let go of it, you will see how it's straight as a die, whereas the hook end, because I haven't pulled on it just yet, is still coiled. So we do the same on the hook end. And I don't know if you guys have seen these. If you haven't got one of these tools, then you haven't got the best accessory in your arsenal. It's again, I'm going to do a separate video on tools. There are dozens and dozens of tools available. I'm going to go through those in one of the videos. But for now, let's just say that it's one tool for many, many things, including cutters or scissors or shears, split ring pliers, and I also use them for getting hold of my swivels, tightening up my knots. And for things such as this. So again, if I grab hold of one of the hooks on the pulley rig and tug on it, let go of the hook length part of the pulley rig, and you will see that it's straight as a die. I hope the camera is capturing it. So for me, that is the first advantage of using fluorocarbon. Naturally, the second advantage is what people know of fluorocarbon to be, which is it is invisible or virtually invisible under the water, because the light doesn't refract through the line as it would with normal monofilament. And the third advantage of fluorocarbon is its resistance to abrasion. Now, normal fluorocarbons are relatively good for abrasion resistance, but Black Magic here have gone one notch up and have produced this tough fluorocarbon. Now, if you're fishing over rough ground, or if you're fishing for toothy critters, then it's definitely the fluorocarbon to use. I don't know if you guys watching this video know what bluefish are. Bluefish is a species of fish that you find in warm water destinations. Not just warm water destinations, they're also in some of the subtropical waters too, like the Canaries all the way in Australia, in America. And this is one of my top fluorocarbon go-to lines when I'm targeting fish with teeth, or if I'm fishing over rough ground. It is so tough, it's unbelievable. I cannot possibly bite through it, and even though I use circle hooks when I'm fishing for blue water predatory fish with bait, we all know that circle hooks aren't 100% reliable in terms of hooking the fish in the corner of the mouth. Even the hook manufacturers claim it's effective 9 out of 10 times. In my opinion, it's even less than that. Personally, I think 8 out of 10 hookups will be in the scissors, because I have had quite a few deep hooked fish even though I've been using circle hooks. Now, I was using a circle hook dingle dangle rig in the Canaries while I was fishing a surf beach one day, and I was using the Blackmagic tough fluorocarbon for my snood with a circle hook, and I actually hooked a big bluefish, and it was deep hooked, but I managed to land that fish. I could not believe it once I saw the fish come out of the surf. Big fish, double figure fish. And if you don't know bluefish, look them up. They are nicknamed the piranha of the sea. They have chomping teeth on them, triangular teeth which actually interlock. So they're worse than barracuda. A lot of people talk about barracuda having really aggressive teeth, yeah, for latching into flesh, but in terms of cutting power, bluefish wins. It's the number one. And I managed to land it. I'm going to put the picture of the fish now. So, very, very impressive fluorocarbon by Blackmagic with this tough fluoro that they've got on the market. Now, different people price fluorocarbon up differently. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of each to you guys. Now, the ones closest to me are your standard fluorocarbons, and as always, as with most fluorocarbons on the market, they are spooled up for the customer in spools of either 30 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters, or in Cinetic's case, spools of 150 meters on their lower diameter fluorocarbon. So some manufacturers or some brands are sticking with the same meterage for each diameter and adjusting the price accordingly. For example, 100 meters of £10 fluorocarbon priced less than 100 meters of £30 fluorocarbon. So obviously, because you're given the same meterage, you have to charge more for the thicker stuff. Now, what I like about Blackmagic is they've actually kept their price fixed across the whole range of the tough fluorocarbon that they have. And I've got this priced at, for example, €24.50. And I'm holding the £30 breaking strain one, and as you can see, they give you 80 meters of £30, and for the same price in £20 they actually give you 100 meters. So I quite like that. The customer knows that there's one fixed price to pay for tough fluorocarbon by Blackmagic. So regardless of whether it's £20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100 or £120 breaking strain, you pay the same price. And obviously the £120 breaking strain being thickest, which is 1.2 millimeters thick, you're going to get less meterage and you get 20 meters on the spool of £120 breaking strain. So in all fairness, £120 we don't use in our daily fishing. £120 will only be for really big fish. So if you're fishing circle hooks for relatively sized sharks, or if you're basically using it on a boat for trawling for medium-sized tunas between £50 and £200, then you'd use the £120 fluorocarbon as your leader for your trolling lures. But we're going to cover that when we come to the lures. We have boxes and boxes and boxes of lures, so bear with me. Follow the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and once you've clicked the subscribe, make sure you click the notification bell by the side of the subscribe and select all notification. Otherwise, when I put the future videos up, YouTube is not going to notify you. So it's not enough to just subscribe, you're going to get random notifications. So you might miss the next 3 or 4 videos before YouTube sends you a notification about the channel. So make sure you click that bell and select all, so you're not missing out, because there's going to be loads and loads of these videos. Hopefully I'm not just showcasing my products to you, I'm actually giving you a lot of information about each product, you know. First and foremost, if you talk to anybody who knows me, who's known me for many years, first and foremost, I'm a fisherman, I'm an angler. I am so passionate about my fishing. When I was in the Canaries and we had sunny weather over 300 days a year, I was literally fishing 300 days a year. So that's how passionate I am about it. So I'm actually going to be telling you why I have chosen all these products for my shop and why I am recommending this product to you guys, because I want the best. So I want to catch fish, I want to have good results, I want to enjoy myself, I don't want the frustration of losing fish and my end tackle not performing. So that is why over the years I have gradually gone through and tested various products, fishing products on the market, and over the years filtered out which ones are not for me and which ones are for me. And all those products ended up being in my shop, and all my customers were very pleased with the shop, because basically they were buying the stuff that I personally use and get all my results on. So I think that covers up. I'll probably pan and go across this table during this video at some point, so you can see the different diameters of the bigger spools, and you can get the meterage of the Blackmagic tough fluorocarbon. And it just leaves with one more product. Now this is made in Japan, product by Dwell. Now I've put it here because it does have a high percentage of fluorocarbon, but the core of this line is actually high quality super monofilament. Now, we've talked about the advantages of fluorocarbon. Let's talk about the disadvantages. And as far as I'm concerned, there are only 2. One of them is a bit silly, I guess, but I have to say it. As far as I'm concerned, the only time where you shouldn't be using fluorocarbon for your hook lengths and your rigs and your leaders for spinning and trolling is if you can't afford it. It's as simple as that. There's no other reason for you not to use it. Now, don't get scared by that. It's not really that expensive. It's not going to break the bank. I mean, 100 meters of £20 fluorocarbon for €24 is pretty damn good. You're going to get a lot of rigs out of a 100 meter spool of fluorocarbon. So, but obviously 100 meters of £20 breaking strain normal monofilament is going to cost you much less, I guess a quarter of that price if it's good quality, quarter or half the price. But that's the only time where you shouldn't be considering fluorocarbon. If you can afford it and if you want the results, if you don't want to be let down, then that's the line to use. So the actual real one disadvantage with fluorocarbon is it has to be slightly thicker for the same breaking strain. So for example, Blackmagic here, they've rated, and Blackmagic rate all their line at the knot. Okay, so it's not in fishing action. So if we were to rate this line that Blackmagic have labeled 20 in fishing action, taking into account the bend in your rod and how much line you've got out, etc., then it's probably more like £30 breaking strain. But these guys go down the IGFA route and their rating is basically at the knot, so you know where you stand with their line. And it is 0.4 thick. Now, even if, let's say, it does break at 30 pounds, 0.4 thick in mono, there are monos on the market which are going to give you much more than that. They're going to give you 40 or 50 pound breaking strain. So that is the only disadvantage. To give you all the other characteristics, you have to pay the price somewhere, and that price is a small percentage of thicker diameter for the same breaking strain. So I think I've covered it all. Like I said, I'll finish the video off by going on top of all these. If you've got any questions, drop me a comment below. If you want some of this stuff, then private message me. I'm going to be working on doing an online shop for all the stuff that I have, and there's a lot. And again, if you haven't seen it, then get on the channel, go to the playlist which is called Tutorials and Tackle Showcases, and watch all those videos from the beginning in a sequence, and you'll see the shop before it was dismantled. You'll see how much stuff there is, so you'll get an idea of how many more videos are going to come up on the channel. So again, if you're enjoying the videos, if you're getting knowledge from the videos, if I'm passing on a lot of information to you guys about my personal experiences, advice, then I would appreciate a like on the video, a comment. I'd appreciate you sharing the videos or the channel with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed, please hit the channel's profile picture, I guess, towards the end of the video, which is a picture of me holding 2 bass. When you click that, it actually gives you the option to subscribe. Once you've subscribed, please hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the future videos. So until next time, tight lines. Here's hoping that the lockdown will be over soon and that we'll have the freedom to move again and just get to the coast and enjoy what we love doing most. Okay guys, until the next video.